All right, today we're going to jump into one of the most useful, essential grammar patterns in Korean for talking about the future. Seriously, by the end of this quick explainer, you'll be able to talk about your plans and intentions with total confidence. So let's just dive right in.
So let me ask you this. How do you actually say something like, I will, or I'm going to in Korean? If you want to say, I'm going to study, or I will meet a friend, what's the key piece of grammar you need? What's that magic tool?
Well, here it is. The answer is this fantastic little pattern, 을 or koeo. This is going to be your absolute go-to for talking about anything in the future. It's basically the Korean way of saying will or be going to. And the best part? It's super common and polite, so you can use it all the time. Okay, so how do we actually use it? This is where it gets really easy, I promise. The rule is super simple, and it all boils down to one key concept you probably already know, bachim. Yep, that final consonant in a syllable block. Let's break down how this one little thing changes everything. Okay, check this out. It's actually so straightforward. It all depends on whether or not the verb stem has a final consonant, that patim. So if the verb stem ends in a vowel with no patim, you just stick on nae-il koeo. Take kada, to go. The stem is ka, no final consonant, right? So it just becomes 갈 거예요, easy. Now, on the other side, if the verb stem does have a final consonant, like 먹다, to eat, the stem is 먹. See that geo-ye at the bottom? Because of that, we add 을 거예요, so it becomes 먹을 거예요. See? It's really that simple. All right, so we've got the rule down, but rules are one thing. Seeing them in action is what really makes it click. So let's look at some real everyday sentences. I'm going to read each one for you, slowly, 3 times. This is your chance to really listen to the sound and maybe even repeat after me.
Okay, first up, 내일 친구를 만날 거예요. 내일 친구를 만날 거예요. 내일 친구를 만날 거예요. This means I will meet my friend tomorrow. And you can see the verb is 만나다. The stem is 만나. No 받침, so we just add 될 거예요. Here's the next one. 오늘 저녁에 영화를 볼 거예요. 오늘 저녁에 영화를 볼 거예요. 오늘 저녁에 영화를 볼 거예요. This one means I'm going to watch a movie this evening. And again, the verb is 보다. Stem is 보. No final consonant, so it becomes 볼 거예요.
Let's try another. 주말에 청소할 거예요. 주말에 청소할 거예요. 주말에 청소할 거예요. This sentence translates to I will clean on the weekend. The verb here is 청소하다. The stem is 청소하, which ends in that vowel sound, so, you guessed it, we add 릴 거예요. Okay, how about this one? 다음 주에 여행을 갈 거예요. 다음 주에 여행을 갈 거예요. 다음 주에 여행을 갈 거예요. This one simply means I'm going to travel next week. And hey, look, this uses our very first example verb, 가다, turning into 갈 거예요. See how it works? And for our last example, listen closely. 열심히 공부할 거예요. 열심히 공부할 거예요. 열심히 공부할 거예요. This is a great one. I will study hard. Just like we saw with 청소하다, the verb here is 공부하다, so it becomes 공부할 거예요. A perfect sentence to keep in your back pocket. Okay, so you've seen the rule. You've heard it in some real sentences. Now it's time to get you involved. This is the most important part, right? The best way to really lock in a new grammar point is to start using it yourself, to talk about your own life. So, just to get your brain working, here are a few more examples. Look at that second one. 주말에 쉴 거예요. That comes from the verb 쉬다, which means to rest. And the last one, we already know. So start thinking, what are your plans? What are you going to do tomorrow, or this weekend, or maybe next month? So I've got a little mission for you. It's super simple, but trust me, it's so effective. After we're done here, just take a minute and think about your own plans for tomorrow. Then, try to write down just 3 sentences using what we learned today. It can be anything at all, like the example here. 내일 아침에 운동할 거예요. This is really how you turn passive learning into an active skill. Okay, before we wrap this up, let's do one last super quick review. Just hearing these sentences one more time is really going to help them stick in your head. All right, let's just read through our 5 key sentences one last time at a nice natural speed. Ready? 내일 친구를 만날 거예요. 오늘 저녁에 영화를 볼 거예요. 주말에 청소할 거예요. 다음 주에 여행을 갈 거예요. 열심히 공부할 거예요. Perfect. These five are a fantastic starting point for talking about your future.
And with that, I'm going to leave you with a question, using the very grammar we just mastered. 내일 뭐 할 거예요? What will you do tomorrow? Give it some thought. You now have the perfect way to answer that in Korean. Thanks so much for joining me for this breakdown, and happy learning!